The call came while I was standing in my own doorway, my keys still warm from my palm. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," my daughter-in-law shouted, laughter spilling behind her like broken glass. I replied, "Enjoy." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The door was half open. That was enough. Shoes by the wall that weren't mine. A jacket draped over the chair like a claim staked too casually to be innocent. The house smelled different. Cologne threaded through my wife's perfume, an intimacy that had learned to breathe without me. I didn't step inside. I listened. Silence has a texture when it's lying to you. Thick, deliberate. My phone vibrated again and again. The call dropped, then returned, 71 times by nightfall. I sent one message, a photo. The balcony of my villa in Switzerland. Lake glassed over with winter light. Marble. Distance. The ringing stopped. Inside, a laugh cut short. A whisper. My name used like a shield. I closed the door. I didn't know everything yet, but I knew enough to be patient. And patience, I've learned, is how you sharpen a blade without touching blood. I had loved my wife in the quiet ways that never make stories, the kind that leaves room, the kind that trusts silence. That's how betrayal grows, unwatched, unchallenged, fed by absence. I cataloged details instead of confronting them. The way she flinched when my shadow crossed the hallway, the new password on her phone, the way she stopped asking when I'd be home. Denial isn't loud, it's procedural. You file things away. You tell yourself tomorrow. I told myself nothing. I watched. Thanksgiving came and went without me. Photos surfaced, smiles too wide. The man I didn't know cropped carefully from frames, a hand at the edge of a shot that didn't belong to family. My daughter-in-law's voice echoed in my head, sharp and entitled. "Wash the dishes, know your place." I was learning mine. The house became a map of small betrayals, a receipt tucked into a book I never read, a charge for a hotel 2 towns over on a night she said she'd worked late. The cologne returned, faint but consistent, like a signature. I didn't ask questions. I let the house talk. I moved quietly. That's my talent. I pulled phone records under the pretense of upgrading our plan. I ran names through companies I no longer owned but still understood. I sat in my car across the street and watched a light turn on in my own bedroom when I was supposed to be away. Inside me, something coiled and measured. Rage wants to be seen. I didn't give it the satisfaction. I ordered a DNA test I didn't think I'd need and filed it unopened in a drawer. A reminder that truth doesn't care what you're ready for. I traced emails. I noticed how the man's schedule curved around hers like a practiced orbit. Externally, I was unchanged. I brought flowers. I kissed her cheek. I nodded at her stories. Internally, I rehearsed nothing. Plans are better when they form themselves. The villa in Switzerland wasn't a threat. It was a mirror. I wanted them to see what distance looks like when it's owned. The results arrived on a Tuesday. Paper has a sound when it settles on a desk, final, unbothered. I didn't read them immediately. I made coffee. I watched steam rise and disappear. Control isn't about speed, it's about timing. The truth was clean, clinical, unapologetic. I folded the paper once, twice, put it in my pocket. That evening, I set the table, 2 plates, her favorite wine. I asked one question I already knew the answer to. Who is he? She laughed too quickly. Then she saw the envelope. Her face collapsed inward like a building designed to fail. I slid the paper across. I didn't watch her read. I watched her hands shake. She cried. She begged. She named love like a defense. I said nothing. Silence is the cruelest language when you speak it fluently. Revenge doesn't announce itself. It arranges the room so the truth has nowhere to hide. I transferred accounts she didn't know existed. I left the house to her, empty, mortgaged to its memories. I sent one email to the man's employer,
Nothing defamatory, only documentation he'd signed and forgotten. I posted nothing. I sent nothing else. She called when she saw the photos again, my life unfolding without her, 71 times. I let the phone sleep. The confrontation came days later, accidental and perfect. The man stood on my porch, uncertainty wearing his face like a mask. I thanked him for keeping my seat warm. He didn't understand until he did. I walked past him without touching. I don't hate them. Hate is attachment. I cut cleaner than that. I sit on the balcony now, winter air thinning my thoughts. The lake doesn't remember storms. It reflects what remains. They expected silence. They expected shame. They expected me to wash dishes. Instead, I learned how to leave without a sound. The truth didn't save me. It freed me.